Attention everybody, the views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Here we go, merge! Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay. And alas, Steve Mickey Mac McAllister is not in the studio with us today on account of it is snowing outside. I will say that the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let's just sit here anyways. Thought I was going to go with the rest of that song, didn't you?
I did.
Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. Steve Mickey Mac McAllister has joined the show on Facebook.
Yeah, he has a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today. Today, we meant to get to this yesterday. We're going to be reading an article written by Bishop Jim Whining, president of Acts Ministry, about friendship.
Yeah.
And the impact that our friends may have had on our lives when we were younger. Good morning, Jeremiah Humans. Always sending me cool little funny jokes all the time, just out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I might actually read a couple of those today just because I think they're funny. Plus, I want to acknowledge Jeremiah and his quirky sense of humor, which works out well for us. Yep. For instance, I assume the tooth fairy doesn't reward for adult teeth because people with false teeth would continuously take them out and get all the cash. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Good morning, Becky.
Bad retirement plan.
Now, this one is...
All right, so it said live, and I'm getting church from last night.
Oh, well... See, that's another reason why we're getting ready to implement something starting next month. Mm-hmm. Starting the last week of February, we will be phasing out our Facebook Live broadcast. But fear not.
There we go.
We will be posting our YouTube live feed link to our Facebook page, so you'll still be able to see it. You'll still be able to comment. It'll just be on just YouTube, not on Facebook Live, because we are. I don't know. It seems like we're getting censored somehow.
Yeah, it's funny. The people that should be seeing our stuff aren't, and the people who shouldn't be seeing our stuff are.
Mm-hmm. We officially have trolls.
Well, not on the show yet.
Not on the show, no. But our Facebook page. Yeah. There was a post that Jim posted, and he boosted it so that other people would be able to see it. And there are people that I guess just weren't too happy with.
Strange thing how Facebook will show you an ad to a search you did immediately.
Specifically.
And then I'll constantly be popping up ads for all your searches throughout history.
Right.
And
morning,
then,
Sandy Bray, Sissy Brooks.
And then when you blast something, they send it to all the wrong people.
Yeah.
People who would have no use for it.
People that don't want that stuff on their Facebook page.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I wonder, you think that's, because they never get my ads wrong.
No. And
so,
all of the stuff that they show me is relevant to stuff that I've looked at before on.
So if it's the algorithm, then say, oh, so why aren't you using the same algorithm?
Yeah. But, I'm actually surprised that
it's expensive. Well, if you already paid for it, then why aren't you using it?
Yeah. Can't you do us a favor and post it to people that would be interested in it?
Yeah,
not people who are going to scorn us.
Or do me even a bigger favor. Change all the ads on my Facebook page to ones I'm not interested in. You know?
That way you're not tempted to buy a bunch of stuff.
Right.
I
Help
don't
me
ever
out
buy
here.
anything off of Facebook anyways, because 9 times out of, like, I saw them selling this little computer one time, and if you read the comments, most of the time people have already said, this is a scam. You know, there's this little computer. It's about, like, I don't know, about 7 inches by like 5 inches, and it's a fully functioning computer, right? People are buying this. They're paying $60 for something that usually, when you buy it new, is going to be $800. And you know, they get they get in the mail.
A calculator.
No, it's a compact mirror that's shaped like a. I mean, it looks like a miniature laptop, but you open it up, and it's a compact mirror, and the mirror's not even that good. You know, so. Be very wary of that stuff. I report it as spam anytime it shows up on my feed, but they still keep sending this stuff. If my thing is if they don't take, if they don't accept, what do you call that?
So
PayPal.
My point in that is there's a few things. Either Facebook is deliberately sending our content to people who don't want to see it and would be angry about it, or the people who saw it actually do want to see it are now acting, posing as though they don't. So in other words, they are interested in finding all this stuff and then trolling it.
Yeah,
So the reason they would see it is because it's something they
that's true. I
seek
didn't even think of
out
that.
for the sake of trolling.
But-
So they're acting like they don't want to see it when actually they're actively pursuing
Yeah.
that type of content.
And you know what? Praise God that you know, that we are. I mean, the enemy's taking notice of us because we are doing the right thing. The enemy doesn't want us recruiting people to our cause.
No.
You know, because our cause is not just I mean, it's about doing the right thing and serving where needed, and
Be a light in the world.
and be a light in the world. Unity in Christ through the Holy Spirit.
Bring people to Jesus.
So, all of our stuff is not all church stuff. I mean, we have secular stuff. We also have autism awareness programs and things like that we're involved in, veterans programs and such. So, real quick, I'm going to read this before I forget. Irony is having a ringtone for the song Push It go off while you're sitting on the toilet in a public restroom. Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun. You know what song I'm talking about?
Dun, 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 dun.
I think it was like DJ Blow or something like that from the 80s. It's crazy. Or the 90s, rather. No, it's the 80s. So Stephanie Brown says, morning, Steve. Susan Burrows says, good morning. McAllister says, hi, Susan Burrows. Marsha Holland joined. Good morning, Marsha. El Sisterito of mine.
Good morning, everybody.
We already said hi to Sandy Bray.
Yep. Saw Sandy yesterday at work.
Yeah. Yes, 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 Sandy Bray says. So we will be implementing a phase out of our Facebook Live broadcast, and we will be posting the link to our YouTube video, and that does many things for us. That frees up one of our cameras to be able to cut away to a segment in a separate studio back behind the current cameras that we have. That'll free up a computer, and you know, I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done it yet, go on YouTube, look up Axe Media Group YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you know when we're live. And then all you have to do is just click on that little notification, and boom, there you are. There we are. There's a live commenting portion of it, and it'll streamline everything. So, and we will actually start to look a little bit more professional. That way we can actually have a cooking show. So we can start here and say, okay, merge over, and then we can walk over there, do a cooking show, get done with it, come back over here, sit back down, merge it back over, boom, you know. And it's great. Steve, we will see you later. We will be praying for you. He's going to the doctor. He says, hey, guys, just wanted to pop in for a bit. I need to see the doc now. Tell the doctor we said hi. And turn your head and cough. Anyways.
Ouch.
Ouch. You know,
Whoa.
all the older guys out there, we all know what that is. You know, let's face it. You got to go see the doctor, and that uncomfortable stuff happens all the time. Like, have you ever had a prostate exam?
I have.
Okay, and that's another thing. You know, as you get older, I think what 50s, when you start in your 50s, they recommend one. How often? Like once a year,
No.
or once every 3. I know a colonoscopy is like once every 3 or 5 years. A colonoscopy,
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I've never had one, so but I can imagine how it must be very uncomfortable.
I don't imagine they just do it without
No, they
there
don't.
being a reason.
I took Dad to his, and they shot him full of this particular medication called Versed, which knocks you out, and it's like an amnesiac, but it also makes you very loopy and say weird things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into some of the stuff Dad said, but I will say this: it was humorous.
Yeah.
I
I had one of those when I had my wisdom teeth out, and when I came out, I was asking if I could have my teeth to put them under my pillow for the tooth fairy.
really.
Yeah. My wife had to call Uncle Bruce and have him send somebody up there to
Morning,
help
Steve
me
Schultz?
into the car because she couldn't help me.
Yeah, I mean, Dad was completely out of it when he came in. It was almost like he was in an infantile state.
Yeah.
But he asked him, and in his mind he heard, "Is it normal for me to be speaking like this?" But it was more like, "Is it normal me like this?" But the lady, bless her heart, she obviously deals with that all the time.
Uh-huh.
She knew exactly what he said. She said, "Yes, it is very normal." And you know, he fasted, you know, the whole day before,
Right.
so he was pretty hungry.
I bet.
And when they brought in the graham crackers, he was really enjoying those graham crackers.
I bet you
They were delicious. And a Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted a Diet Coke and some graham crackers. He was hungry and he was thirsty. And, you know, because, I mean, I had to drive him home.
Yeah.
Or I got to drive him home.
Yeah.
He was pretty much normal by the time we got out to the truck, but
Well,
not normal enough that he could drive,
Yeah.
obviously. Because I remember the last surgery I had, I was making all these grand plans for eating a double Whopper, you know, not a sponsor, because I had stopped eating at, the last meal I had was 10 o'clock the night before, and I was supposed to have surgery at 8 o'clock that next morning. So I got there and
10 o'clock the night before to 8 o'clock in the morning?
oh no,
Don't you have to fast longer than that?
no, not really. No, not for what I had a hernia surgery. It wasn't a colonoscopy. You have to really make sure you're cleared out
Yeah.
because they're
I'm kicking back here.
putting a
Getting
hose.
comfortable
I know
taking a
you
nap.
used to do that at the old studio all the time because you had it to where your head would lean back, just perfect, right between the corners of the walls were padded. I know it's funny, right?
Yeah.
They were padded, and so that's another reason why we kept falling asleep because it was really comfortable in there. Are you already trying to fall asleep?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Just got to get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Got this pain in my neck and my shoulder that I'm going to have to try to adjust and
Still having pain in the shoulder.
snooze. Oh, yeah.
Don't be
And
snoozing.
the arm. Yesterday it was spasming up and balling up, and I couldn't. You can't pull it out. So yeah, I had to do this and push it up, back to where it belongs.
Oh man,
Fun.
what was I saying anyway? Oh yeah. So I get in there and they take me back and they start to prep me and stuff like that, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon before they actually get to me because all the surgeries were running behind.
Oh no.
So I was starving. I felt like I was going to die.
Oh.
I thought that the time of surgery was never going to get there. That double Whopper seemed 1,000 miles away to me.
Oh.
I was longing for
Did you
it.
get your double Whopper?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't want to eat it
Why?
because I was so full of drugs and, you know, still coming out of anesthesia. I was sick to my stomach because I ended up being under the knife hours longer than they anticipated because they found three or four other hernias in there
Oh no.
while they were fixing one.
Oh wow.
So they ended up fixing all of them. So that time, and it seemed like every time I go under the knife and have a surgery of some sort, it's harder for me to like. I come out of my anesthesia in a little bit of a different way each time. This very last time, I came out almost swinging.
Whoa.
I was like, you know, and the lady was like, "Calm down. You're in recovery. You're okay." And then she shot me full of what is that stuff? Fentanyl and Dilaudid. She gave me 100 micrograms of fentanyl.
What was
and
it again?
60 milligrams of Dilaudid. I was delighted.
I bet you were.
I realized it sounded like I said I was delighted.
I was just watching your.
I was sick to my stomach
I
there
was just
for a
watching
good
your
while.
body moves and language.
'Cause I don't know if you know that
Fentanyl and Dilaudid.
Fentanyl is one of the
Like, whoa.
strongest medications they give you in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I had never had it before until my first surgery. And she didn't tell me, the lady didn't tell me she was giving me fentanyl. And
Till you started to feel it.
I started to feel it. I thought I was dying. I didn't know. She asked me how my pain was. I said, well, that's at least 8 or 9. It's not the absolute worst pain I can imagine. About 8 or 9. I couldn't hardly move. I had a pillow so I could hold it like this whenever I cough because, you know, whenever you're intubated, you have a lot of phlegm buildup in your esophageal area.
Right.
So you want to cough and you're like, oh. Ah. But you really want to go, but no, it's, oh. And then all of a sudden I get this feeling that starts in my forehead, like right here, and spreads all throughout my body. And all right, so have you ever done that deal where, you know, someone holds your wrist real tight for about 30 seconds and you have your fist closed, and then they open up their hand, and as they pretend to pull your veins out, they let off of your wrist and the blood all flows into your hand at once, that weird feeling? It was like that over my whole entire body. And I actually said a cuss word because I was scared. I was like, beep, what was that? Something's wrong. She goes, no, I just gave you fentanyl. You're okay. I was like, you need to warn me the next time you do that. And I'm pretty sure it sounded like, you need to warn me the next time you do that. This is pretty good. Yeah, now you're comfortable. I could tell. Your eyes are it looks like your eyes are starting to close.
No.
Like you're battling it.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not battling it.
And Jeremiah Human says, Living with a Hernia by Weird Al. That is a pretty good song. Larry Melton says, I had a hernia surgery and they caused nerve damage and put my pants on for weeks. Okay, I need to understand that comment, Larry. I had hernia surgery and they caused nerve damage and put my pants on for weeks.
Couldn't. Probably he couldn't.
Oh, and I couldn't put my pants on for weeks. Oh. So you just sat around the house pantless? all
Yeah,
the time?
dead legs maybe.
Yeah, that's not fun.
That's not good.
He said he meant to say I could not
Dead
put my
legs.
pants on for weeks. Okay, I'm glad. Sorry about that, Larry.
Was that because of your arms or your legs? Anyway.
Well, that's probably the core. So, you know, if they cause nerve damage there, it's hard for you to bend over, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
So you just
Move
gotta
your legs.
Just got to sit around in your boxes all day.
Your backs.
Boxes. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, let's do a real. Let
Quick
me.
commercial?
Yeah, let me go. Hold on, just a second. Let me pull up my.
Too late.
No.
Just kidding.
No. I gotta pull up our Natural Solutions store website.
You might as well pull up the website.
That is a good idea, Jay. That's why you make the big bucks around here.
Living with a Hernia by Weird Al.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that song?
Yes. I used to have every Weird Al, the
Never heard
Yankovic
of it.
album. All right. Green tea energy, green tea fat burner, liver cleanse. Let's talk about liver cleanse. All right. Are you ready, Jay?
I'm ready. You're there, sir.
Am I?
Banner is up.
Hey, everybody. Matt here. Today's show is brought to you by Natural Solution Store.bz. .bz. I gotta play the part of Steve O'Makey Mac on this obsession. Anyways,
Where did the obsession come from? I don't remember.
well, there was a commercial years ago, and it was a cologne. It was Obsession. Here we go. And it said a bunch of other words, and then says Obsession. So, well, you know what? A healthy liver is an essential part of maintaining optimum health. Herbal Alchemist Liver Cleanse is designed to support the body and rid irritants of the liver. Such irritants may be caused by alcohol, sugar, stress, and a poor diet. Normally, our liver removes toxins from our blood, and an overload of waste, alcohol, and pollutants can result in an infection of harmful bacteria. The liver's importance is underlined by the fact that it's the largest organ inside the human body. Although it can function with up to 75% of the organ diseased or non-existent, it will not be as successful at eliminating toxic elements from your body. Poorly functioning liver will not produce enough bile, meaning that the proper absorption I said that wrong, of nutrients, digestion of food, and metabolism. Sorry, everybody. I inhaled some saliva. Of fat prevented. Liver cleanse is made from various herbs that support liver and kidneys. Obviously, the capsules do not contain any artificial ingredients or common allergens. You wouldn't want to put toxins in your body while trying to remove them, right? No, of course not. So my question is this. Do you feel lethargic, bloated? Do you have weight gain? Do you smoke or regularly consume alcohol? You may need a liver support supplement. Now, this is easy and gentle, only 2 capsules per day, no harmful, no handful of horse pills like some of the other brands. You should gradually feel an increase in energy, better overall health, and improved mental clarity. So rapidly repair, protect, and detoxify your liver with Liver Cleanse from naturalsolutionstore.bz. Back to you guys. Every time I hear that vibrate, I think, oh, somebody's telling me something.
No, I don't.
No. It's just YouTube telling me, hey, we're live. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Woo.
All right.
Yeah. So you were going to talk about something today?
Yeah. I was going to talk about something yesterday.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Spit is hard to swallow. It's even harder to breathe.
What did I do? I don't want natural solutions toward IBC.
What did you do? You don't want that.
So we asked me. There we go. AskMediaGroup.com.
Good morning. Hey, so what are we doing next? Oh, you bringing up the article?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is written by Dr. James R. Wining. He's
Bishop.
Dr. Bishop James R. Wining. Looking back over your development years, have you ever thought about who made a difference in your life? Can you, as an adult, remember what that person did and how it helped you as an adult? Many, if not most of us, enjoy a supportive parental framework, an educational system for life skills and ethics, and morals foundation source. However, do you know that person who went beyond their supportive mechanisms and was unselfish in the giving of time and involvement in your developing life? This person does not have the responsibility of a parent or guardian, the legal obligation of a teacher, or the motivation of religious guidance. This person defines friend in a way that steps up from respect and trust and catapults to an agape love. The most valuable component of a person's life is time. This friend in your life would be willing to give time to you monthly, weekly, and even daily. Not only does this friend give time for you, but also sees where you are as a youth And it doesn't have to be youth either, but and where you could be as an adult. Your friend is assessing your abilities, foreseeing your adult needs, and matches these together to determine what areas in your youth need special attention. Falling asleep over there.
In your youth, require special attention.
You shouldn't be comfortable. I know that once you get comfortable, it's really, really hard to stay awake.
This chair is horrible.
Now it's different. It was different when we were just on axradio.com because people don't see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and besides that,
Anyways, just can you imagine us?
most of our listeners were sleeping too.
The last half of
Just kidding.
the last half of our show, we're just in there.
Steve was keeping us awake a lot of days. Steve Schultz.
Chasing bunnies. Yeah, he kept us awake.
Mm-hmm.
He says, and this is continuing on, as a child growing up, I was blessed with loving parents, good schools, and supportive church. Many would say, who can ask for more? I certainly did not conjure any needs beyond family, college, and church support. However, in adult life, I would transverse both business and religious endeavors, which would require good reading and writing skills. My friend spent time to know who I was as a youth, which included abilities and aptitude. She knew I was not mechanically inclined, but surmised my future had something to do with interaction skills. My Aunt Pat was right. She set a goal of expanding my vocabulary, improving my spelling skills, and applying both in daily use. I am not certain when it started, but I would guess that I was in the 8th grade. Every day, Monday to Sunday, we would have about 3-minute telephone conversation. Aunt Pat would call, announce the word of the day, spell it, and then use it in a sentence. I would repeat that word to her, spell it, and then use it in my own sentence. I also used the word during that day at least once. I believe she expanded my verbal and written skills by approximately 3,000 words. I cannot point specifically to the effect of this mentoring, but I can say I used this information to graduate from college, obtain responsible positions in business, and to preach and teach the Word of God. Who could receive more from a friend? Now, past my Aunt Pat Gaddis, I think that's how you say it, will always be a tutor in my mind who taught me how to connect and spread the Word of God. Do you have such a friend? Now, we're friends. I believe the love we have for one another is agape love.
Yes.
It's a lot easier whenever you're not trying to date somebody. You know what I mean? Agape love is impossible without Jesus. I will say that. Linda says, "Happy Friday, sons." Hold on, just a second. I'm looking here to see what Larry Mountain says. Because you asked him a question about that. He says it was the nerves.
I'm awake, Larry. I'm awake.
I couldn't get in my truck, he says. Linda Fleetwood said, "Happy Friday, sons. Spit is hard to swallow. It's also hard to, it's hard on your lungs if you inhale it." Rudy Giuliani will be on Fox News at noon today. He has a lot to say. People are trying to kill him. Okay, well, Rudy. He spelled it Rudy. He spelled it right. Sorry, I read it wrong. Steve Schultz says, "You need to bring the stick in, Jay, and let Matt whack you."
Mm-hmm.
And then Larry says, "Wake up, Jay."
Hey, is that still at the house, isn't it?
I do believe it is. It is. If not, we can get another one.
No, you can't get another one of those.
I will let everybody know that Dad is taking a cold now that he's through the septic infection. He's catching a cold now. It might be thrush, though. It's hard for him to talk. So there will not be a Veterans Church this Sunday. Just to let everybody know. Because, I mean, now it's like, I really harp on Dad about that stuff, about going to the doctor when he needs to and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you're getting moved into your place.
Yeah.
It's a wide open floor plan.
Yep. Well, speaking of the friends thing, I mean, you You've been
Oh,
a
yeah.
good friend to me. You know, when my dad passed away, I lost somebody that was important to me, but not only that, that I depended on also.
Yeah.
And you know, for a long time, I would always say, you know, well, and it did change my life. You know, not having anybody for backup like that.
Right.
You know, that you could really depend on all the time. But it's turned out that I do have people in my life that I can really depend on. And though it's difficult and stressful at times, just working out the details of it, you've always been there for me, and I appreciate the help that you've given me in this difficult weather. You know, that I can't ride my motorcycle and my car's not working right.
It's
Or
the
not
only-
working.
The only time I don't wish for snow is when I know that you've got a ride in it. Other than that, I wish
Yeah.
for snow all the time,
Right, so weekends.
which we're getting all the time.
Yeah. And also, I think of the times when I'm really stressing out about things and things don't seem to be coming together quite right, or I've got something big happening that's working against me. And I always think of what you say is to, you know, that God's got this. You always throw down your hands and say, God's got this. When you don't have the answers and you're not sure, you'd
God's
always
got this.
remind me of that.
You know, we have to give it to him wholeheartedly.
We also have to know that sometimes things just aren't working out, and they're not going to really. You know, the specific thing and the details of it aren't going to work out the way you expect, and you just do have to give it up and give it to God. We can't lean, you know, can't always just depend on yourself,
Nope.
and that would be a pretty lonely existence if you did. It's nice to have friends that you depend on, people who care and in a selfless way and are willing to help just because you need it.
Yeah, and it is good to have somebody that you know you can count on, but we also have to swallow our pride. It's hard to rely on somebody.
It is, because it's admitting that you have some shortcomings.
Yeah, or that you
are
need help.
unprepared, or
A lot of people won't. They'll near die of starvation before they ask somebody for help.
yeah,
And it's not bad to ask people for help or to accept help.
no,
If someone wants to bless you, let them bless you. Let them be an answer to your prayer.
yeah.
Good morning, Jana Hale. Girolamo.
And I do need to work things out, but it takes a little while to settle into a new place and figure out what your new expenses are going to be, because things change that way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm heating with wood now, which I really enjoy, and it's so comfortable. It's a little brisk in the morning, which is good, though. It gets you up, or, well, it can keep you in bed, too. It's like, I'm not getting out of these covers. Are you crazy? Yeah, so it's a pretty good thing, and I love the apartment.
Yeah, it's huge. It's about the same size as your house.
Yeah,
Just open flooring.
yeah.
Minus the garage, of course. You
Right.
know. But that's technically not the house. That's a garage.
Yeah.
So so yeah, as a reminder, folks, starting the last week in February, we will be
How did that change?
I don't know. We will be broadcasting only on YouTube Live and then sharing the link to Facebook, so you'll be able to get to us from either way. But we wanted to consolidate all the numbers, you know, and like I mentioned, streamline everything. But yeah, it's been a long night. It's, you know, this weather really makes you want to go home and take a nap.
Yeah, it does.
Makes you want to take a nap right here, right now.
It does do that.
Marty Hamilton is here. He's sitting outside. We lock the doors during the shows now.
Oh,
So,
Marty's outside?
yeah. Steve's not here, so I'm not going to get up and go let him in. Good morning. Who said good morning, fellas? Let's see. Larry Melton says the Home Garden Show is this weekend. Can't hardly hear you, Jay. That's
Oh,
what
hi.
Larry says.
I'm here.
So coming up next here in about 25 minutes, we got Dr. Marty Hamilton will be doing his Basics of Faith. You know what? I tell you what.
Is it that time?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
Gonna
I'm going to
go
go
let
let
him in?
Marty in.
But I can you hear me, Jay?
I can hear you, Matt.
Okay, well,
Matt's taking himself with him.
I am taking myself with him.
He's taking himself with
Going to
him.
let Marty in.
Yeah, he's letting Marty in.
Good morning, Marty.
So it's
How you doing today? It is snowing. I didn't know if you were going to be here today. Dr. Marty Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. The basics
Dr.
of faith.
Marty Hamilton.
You can't see him, but
It's
you
on
might be able
after
to hear
our
him. Say
show
hi,
today.
Marty.
Hi, y'all.
All right, there
Hi,
you go.
Marty.
Got to keep it safe around here.
Hey, can you hear me now, Larry? There we go.
Oh, I'll wait and see here in a little bit. Yeah. Just, anyways,
Sandy says her grandkids got up at 5. Nice. Jenna Hale says good morning.
Sandy Bray says, got up at 5. Wow.
The home garden show is this weekend.
Baxter Everson.
Baxter.
hey everybody. Oh, you can hear me. That's
Yeah.
pretty. It sounds a little bit different, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's got that little.
Just a little bit of a
hum.
like a little fog, like a little something or other.
Like a little AM
Yeah.
hum.
Yeah.
Or a little AM. Good morning.
Hey, Marty.
I saw your video introducing the Axe
Sure.
University.
Yeah, we weren't sure if you were going to be here today. Didn't know if you were going to stay home and just broadcast it live from your.
Oh, it's Springfield Schools in?
Oh, yeah. Springfield Schools doesn't let out hardly at all. Willard, we almost never got any snow days. Almost never. I mean, we had buses sliding off in the ditch because of the ice and snow before. And they just pull up next to it with another bus. They shuffle off of one and onto another and just go on to school. It's like, hey, come on now. Just take us back home.
Yeah, of course, all the kids say that.
All right.
I mean, you know, if you let the kids come up with all the days that you should have off. Yeah, you'd be going. Right. Is that? I wonder if that's how that happened. Yeah.
What did I miss? What now?
That is clever.
What did I miss? I missed it. Yeah. I remember my youngest son. He was he got in trouble because he didn't finish his project, and his project it wasn't a project; it was a writing assignment. 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each. 20 sentences. And he got in trouble at school because of it, because he wrote like 1 sentence each and called it 5 paragraphs. He tried to slip it by him. He thought he was going to outsmart the teacher and
Right.
his mom. So I get a call from him after they have already had this huge argument between him and his guardian, and you know, he was like, I just can't believe this is not fair. They shouldn't give us assignments to go home because it takes away from our time with family. As he's playing a video game while I'm on the phone, actually he had the video game taken from him. He said, I'm gonna write a letter to the Ozark School Board. I said, okay, but it needs to be at least 5 sentences, 5 paragraphs. It's like you need to learn how to write this stuff, because, you know, you're gonna have a job where you have to write. Yeah. It was really funny because you could hear the gears click into place in his head. Oh, well, that sounds silly. But
Yeah.
it's it was funny. I said, look, and I went and I sat down with him and I started working with him and I read his thing that he had to do, and so I started counting down. He wrote this sentence. I said, look, now you've got 17 sentences left. And then he finished, and I was like, oh, that's 1 less sentence. You get started. Getting started is the hardest part. You know, especially if he's going to be like his dad. I'm a procrastinator sometimes, most of the time, a lot. And I don't really mean to. I get busy and I forget stuff. Marty knows. He's like, I've been waiting on a couple of things from me for the past couple months.
Right.
It's but we're getting it. We're getting it. You know, it's sorry about that. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Kids are funny.
Kids are funny.
You know,
That
and
was
I
pretty
remember
funny.
I remember having that
was pretty
same
good. I'm gonna write a letter to the school board.
I was like, it's
Okay,
got to
but
be
it's gotta
5 paragraphs, at least 5 sentences apiece. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I was like, you got to be able to make money. If you can't write 5 paragraphs, you know,
It's
you're gonna
really,
run
I
out.
think, also it's really important to express a complete thought
Yeah.
and to demonstrate where you get the idea,
Yep.
what you think, and your thought process about, you know, the information you understand about the idea, and then your conclusion or a question. You know.
Yeah. I need to also let's see, and then let's see, and turn on notifications. Sorry for giving someone instructions.
Jeremiah says you missed work, you can't pay rent.
That's very true. Like we have these guys up where I work, and they're late every day, literally every day. They are never on time. If they're on time, some fluke accident has happened, and somehow they ended up there way ahead of schedule. I don't know how they pay their bills. They're younger. They're in their 20s. They're between 18 and 20 years old. They call in. There was one guy that actually called in every single one of his Fridays, as long as I knew him, and he worked there. How they don't get fired, I don't know. It just goes to show you how it's hard to find people to work jobs now.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm not really sure the business models they use because the people they depend on are held to a much stricter standard for that and would be fired for much less.
Yes, absolutely. Like if I were to do anything even relatively close to that, I'd have been fired.
Yeah, you'd be fired for a mistake.
And
an
there's
actual
even people
mistake,
on
and-
the other shifts that if they were to even come close to doing that, they would have been fired.
Yeah.
So they just pretty much accepted that these guys never show up on time. Their work ethic is terrible.
And they're going to not be there on
I mean, they're
Friday.
nice enough guys. Don't get me wrong. They're great guys. They're just terrible workers.
Right.
And I know that I'm just being punished for my earlier in life work ethic, which was not the greatest. It was pretty crappy, to be honest. We're making plans that, in case you didn't know, we're gonna stop our Facebook Live broadcasting and just do YouTube Live only, starting the end of February. So that way, we only have one place for people to go. Well, they can go to Facebook and see it because we'll share the videos on there, and you can just click on them. And we're going to continue talking about that through the whole entire rest of the next 30 days. We'll be talking about that just so you guys can't say, hey, I didn't know you guys were switching. Yeah, it'll happen. It's going to happen. It never fails. You could send a private message to everybody on your friends list, and still someone say, I didn't know you guys were doing that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That would be me.
Steve Schultz says, if you were late 3 times at my work, you would get rode up. Were they union workers? Larry Mountain said, no, they're not. They're just young and dumb
Yeah, and used to be late was
on time.
no.
Like if you were on time, you were late. If you were 5 minutes early, you were
well,
on time.
yeah, if you clocked in like 1 second after, I mean that's technically being late.
Yeah. Now, I worked at a union job where you got occurrences. Like, if you were more than 2 hours late or more than 4 hours late, you got a full occurrence. If you were under 4 hours late, you got a half occurrence. And you had 9 occurrences, and they would drop off an occurrence a year after you got it. It would fall off of your ledger.
Yeah, there's some standard they use, or is it 15 minutes late or something like that? 12 minutes late or something I can't remember.
Dad always told me that showing up is 88% of life. I venture to say that showing up is 90% of life.
Well, maybe 100. I mean, if you don't show up for life, you're not alive.
It's a very astute observation, Jay.
So,
That needs to go on a bumper sticker.
right.
If you're, how did you say it?
No, I don't even.
I don't even know either. It's been, hey, it's
Well, showing up is 100% of life, because if you don't show up, you're not alive.
right. Well, that's true.
If you don't show up for life, you're not
Nobody makes it out of this life alive.
alive. Yeah.
Spiritually, you can make it out alive. You just gotta do the right thing, accept Christ into your heart. 3 strikes, you go home. Sandy Bray says.
Well, it would be nice to not need the money, though. What I don't understand is how people don't need the money.
Well, see, the thing is, they do need the money. I don't even know how they're living.
Huh? Yeah, all their buddies who actually showed up on time. You? Yeah, so technically, who was late? Right?
Yeah. Okay, so
No, I like FB casting.
huh?
What? Okay, Jenna, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Jana, where's it? Where's she saying it at? I think she says she likes the Facebook Live broadcasting.
Oh, I see. Because we're switching. What's that sound?
That's the little thingamajigger on my thingy over here.
The sound device.
What did Jana say? Did you read it? Can you read it again?
I guess that's more like, no, I like Facebook casting live. I guess she means Facebook.
Well, you'll still be able to get to us. You'll still be
Yeah.
able to get to us. We're going to post the link, and it's a picture of us, a picture of the video. We're going to post that to our Facebook page, so you'll be able to...
So basically, you go on Facebook and click on this.
Yeah, you
Video.
go on Facebook and you click on it, and then it'll take you right over there to watch it, and you can comment and everything. It looks a little different. It looks a lot different, actually, but the commenting is easy, and it's all, live commenting, as well as you can continue to comment after the show is broadcast, so...
Yeah.
It just so happens I was discussing this because there's a group text, and I realized all of us were board members. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to throw this out there. So we got the okay to move forward with the phase out. Every broadcaster could invite folks to request.
Did you ever finish that whole article of Jim's?
Yeah, I did. Every broadcaster could invite folks to request the e-letter.
I got it
Question
through Dr. Paul Collins.
Yeah.
That's how I got that.
What, the e-letter?
Mhm.
The survey or what? What is he talking about, the e-letter?
The link to the article from Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's my friend. Dr.
Just
Paul
go online to
Collins is my friend.
axmediagroup.com, and it is the first Real News Review. It's the first thing on the page that you come to. It's an article from the Real News Review, which is an online newspaper.
Yeah.
Janice says, I enjoy watching your show. And you'll still be able to see it. It'll
Yeah.
be exactly the same as what you're seeing now, just a different format to comment on.
You'll have to join a watch party, right?
No, you don't have to. I mean, I guess you can start a watch party with the YouTube videos.
Oh.
You can do that. I know that. On Facebook, you can start a watch party with it. Sorry, I posted I changed my profile pic last night. And it's an old picture.
I keep hearing myself rub up against this microphone.
And you think there's something wrong with it?
No, it's my beard. It's getting in the way. That's good radio.
It is good radio. That's funny. All right. So it's about time here in a couple minutes. We'll have to get out of here.
So my favorite joke is at work. I tell is, what do you call a dog with no legs?
Doesn't matter what you call him, he ain't coming. Oh, I thought you were asking me to go ahead. Sorry, what was it? What do you call a dog with no
Well,
legs?
the punchline really is you wait until they start looking around like they're trying to think of something. Then you say, it doesn't matter. He's not going to come to you.
That's a good idea.
Matt,
What?
you ruined my joke.
Did I?
No.
I think I might have polished it up a bit for you. Made it a little bit better. You know, it's
I get to practice on people at
a
work
little
all day
sugar
long.
in the tea. You know.
And
Yeah.
I tell that joke to a new person that has not heard it, and the person next to him starts cracking up laughing, and it's not because they think the joke's funny. They think it's funny that I tell everybody that comes in there 5 times.
Kind of like his dad
The
and
same
his
joke.
holy water joke.
Yeah. Yep.
And he tells that to complete absolute strangers all the time. He'll stop somebody. If someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" He'll stop and be like, "Hey. You know how you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it." And usually that takes them a second, and then they start laughing. They're like, "That is pretty funny." Steve Schultz says, "You messed up, Jay. You messed up, Jay joke, Matt."
Yeah, Matt. You tell him, Steve.
Steve. So yeah, Steve O Mickey Mac will probably be hosting a watch party on his Facebook
From now
using
on.
our YouTube. I mean, if anything changes and we decide to do it earlier, we'll let everybody know. But sorry, I should stop reading messages while I'm on the air, unless they're pertaining to what we're
You
talking
just
about.
go ahead and read them. I'm going to take a nap while you're not paying attention.
Chantel Gorman. Yeah.
Chantel.
Oh, is that my cousin, Chantel?
Yeah.
Oh. She liked my Facebook.
I think so. Yeah.
She liked my new photo on there. It's me and Barney. I'm wearing a turkey hat or a chicken hat. And Barney's wearing one of those fuzzy warm hats that come down over your ears.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
Really
it.
warm ones.
I was probably around. I was probably there.
You probably were.
I might have
No,
taken
actually, it was
Did
up
I take
it,
the picture? Maybe
was that
not.
at work? I may have been at work.
We always had some goofy hats like that at the shows that we did.
What are you talking about? Goofy, huh?
Yes, goofy.
Well,
I mean,
yes.
distinguished. How's that for a better word? You're distinguished.
I was
hats.
just watching you squirm a little bit, trying to figure out.
Your hats were always in your clothing. Was very distinguished.
Yes. So, you know what that sound means.
That means
It's time for us to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the Morning Drive today. Be sure and tune in next for the Basics of Faith with Dr. Marty Hamilton, or as I like to call him, Dr. M. That's going to stick. You watch. Unless I come up with something better. Anyways, so we'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
my name is Jay.
and this has been The Morning Drive.
.bz.